Now at noon, we're learning about the suspect involved in a deadly shooting in one Seminole County neighborhood. Plus, judges giving a stern warning to the federal government when it comes to cracking down on illegal immigration. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Julie Broughton. We now know the name of the suspect involved in a deadly shooting in Seminole County. The shooting happened last night near Sanford on Colonial Court. That's off Lake Markin Road, south of State Road 46 and the Wekiva Parkway. The Seminole County Sheriff's Office says deputies found a man shot. He later died at the hospital. Investigators say Sean Simon had some sort of relationship with the victim, but investigators aren't saying exactly what that relationship was. The Sheriff's Office says witnesses told investigators that Simon had been exhibiting signs of dementia for months, which had caused turmoil in the household. Simon is charged with first-degree murder and is being held in the Seminole County Jail on no bond. In Osceola County, all of the I-4 eastbound lanes are back open after a crash involving a car and a school bus that blocked part of the road this morning. The crash happened around 7:30 just south of the World Drive exit. The Osceola County School District confirmed one of its buses was involved. 29 Island Village elementary students were on board at the time. None of the kids were hurt. The district says the students did make it to school. Florida Highway Patrol says paramedics took 2 adults to the hospital, but both are expected to recover. The crash remains under investigation. All right, let's take a live look outside for you. This is our camera in Daytona Beach, looking so pretty out there and finally feeling a little bit more normal. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is here. And Candace, the normal temperatures are very short-lived, though.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be like a mini warm-up, and then we'll get to a longer stretch, though, as we head into your weekend. But you know what? In the last several days, so far this week, I haven't seen anybody on the beach. So just the proof that there are humans on the beach this afternoon is certainly a good sign. It certainly tells that the temperatures are certainly starting to warm up. Right now we're at 69 degrees now. Don't get me wrong. There's nobody out there in bikinis just yet. Everyone's still in their sweaters. We're going to continue to see that wind out of the south continuing to pump in more of that warmth. How much of a warm-up have we seen already in the last 24 hours? Well, running between about 9 and upwards of about 12, even 13 degrees warmer at this point of the day compared to yesterday at News 6 at noon. Now, temperatures out the door right now. Other than those upper 60s along the coastline, it's pretty much the same, very uniform temperatures across the board from coast to coast. 70 in Wildwood. We're still in the 70s, though, in Cape Canaveral and Cocoa Beach. Melbourne right now holding at 71. Now, throughout the next few hours, we will warm up another 4 or 5 degrees or so, which is exactly where we should be for this time of the year. So a really nice kind of break from the chill that we've all been under. But I do want to turn your attention to why this is going to be a mini warm-up. It's because we are tracking the arrival of another cold front. This is already bringing plenty of rain across parts of the panhandle. You can see the blue behind that front. It is going to usher in another blast of cold air. Not as Arctic as the one we just dealt with, but certainly we'll start seeing another frosty start as early as Friday morning. But looking at the rain chances, I do want to turn your attention to the overnight hours early tomorrow morning for your morning commute. Not only could you be seeing rain falling, but the roads certainly will be wet. We'll have more details and really timing out the rain and another drop in temperatures before we can finally be done with this cold blast. Back to you.
Candace, thank you. In Brevard County, we're working to get more answers from police about the death of an infant in Cocoa. This happened yesterday on Pineda Street. Police say officers were called to a home in the middle of the afternoon and found a 3-month-old boy dead. Right now, police are not saying anything else about what may have happened, only that an investigation is underway. Once we learn more, we will let you know. In Lake County, a man is now in jail after a fight led to a stabbing. It happened around 1 yesterday afternoon at Farron Park in downtown Eustis. After an hours-long search, Eustis police arrested James Thompson Jr. Officers tracked him down in Leesburg. The Eustis police chief say the men knew each other. He also said there were multiple witnesses, including children, who saw the fight. Thompson is facing charges including attempted first-degree murder and is being held with no bond. It has now been more than 3 days since Savannah Guthrie's mom has been missing from her home in Arizona. Police say they're looking into the authenticity of an apparent ransom note for Nancy Guthrie, originally sent to a local news station. They're also revealing evidence at the scene, including blood pointing to a possible abduction. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti is in Tucson.
Fingerprints, DNA, camera images, everything you can imagine.
Investigators say they're using every tool to find Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos says the FBI is now analyzing an apparent ransom note.
Is there anything in that note that seems credible at this moment that you're giving weight to?
The entire note.
So you're not dismissing this note at this point?
Absolutely not.
He says he shared the note with the Guthrie family the same night he received it.
Of the thousands of tips that you get, you don't show everything
Well, no,
to them.
because some of them just don't have any.
This rose to the level.
Sure does. It's more threatening. You guys asked, was there any threats? This was pretty threatening.
According to Nanos, the note contained details about what the 84-year-old was wearing the night of the crime, but would not confirm its authenticity. It was initially sent to a local news station, who forwarded it to authorities and agreed not to report on it. But yesterday, TMZ was also sent a copy.
TMZ comes out with this note that you have known about, that the Guthries have now seen, and it sounds like it could compromise this case to some degree.
It could. I hope not.
The sheriff also says surveillance video from Guthrie's home has led them nowhere so far.
None of the camera images have revealed to us anything of substantive nature. No.
Really? Anything?
No, it only goes so far back. And so we're giving it to those camera makers and saying, can you do something more with this?
Tuesday, our cameras captured what appears to be a small amount of blood outside the front door of Guthrie's home. A law enforcement source tells CBS News that a little bit of blood was found inside the home. It's unclear whose blood, but authorities say it's being examined, along with other clues.
The Guthries are very distraught, very concerned. What's important is we find Mom and we bring her back home safe.
And the sheriff tells me Savannah Guthrie and her family have not received any specific threats. He is worried about the health of Nancy Guthrie, who requires daily medication, and as we've been reporting, all of it was left behind when she was abducted. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Tucson, Arizona.
Sharp words and big action inside federal court in Orlando when it comes to the ongoing crackdown on illegal immigration. There were 2 habeas corpus hearings yesterday. That's when the government must prove it has a legal right to detain someone. A judge released 2 people who had been arrested and raised serious concerns about how these arrests are being handled in the first place. Your Orange County community correspondent Mike Valenti shows us the controversy and the answers the judge is now demanding.
Ahora no entiendo si ellos mismos están diciendo que es algo injusto, ¿por qué lo siguen haciendo?
Johnny Rondon Rodriguez released from custody Tuesday in attorney Philip Arroyo's second habeas corpus case of the day.
I think what we're seeing today is the separation of powers in full display.
Federal Judge John Antoon ruling that Rodriguez, who has a brain tumor, has been unlawfully detained at the Orange County Jail for almost a month, solely on an immigration hold.
Hay guardias que se molestan hasta por pedir un medicamento.
What we are seeing is massive detention and arrests, which are illegal, unconstitutional, and quite frankly, immoral.
When held on an ICE detainer with no underlying criminal charges, a person can only be detained there for 48 hours. Arroyo says what's been happening lately is ICE agents pick up the detainee between 48 and 72 hours and rebook them hours later, which Judge Paul Byron described as a way to artificially reset the clock, calling it, quote, wildly inappropriate.
Today, the Constitution prevailed.
Judge Byron was the one who ordered Arroyo's other client released, and he criticized this rebooking practice, suggesting it violates a temporary restraining order.
I'm your Orange County community correspondent, Mike Valenti, News 6.
And something else to note as of today, the Orange County Jail tells us there are 134 inmates inside with an ICE hold and no local charges. State leaders are putting out a warning when it comes to students protesting ICE during class time. The Commissioner of Education sending this letter to districts saying anyone who causes disruptions should be disciplined. It also warns teachers against promoting any kind of protest, saying that would violate professional responsibilities and would also warrant discipline. The letter comes just one day after Brevard County Superintendent warned students would be disciplined if they take part in any on-campus protest during the school day. That followed rumblings about possible walkouts on Friday. Parents we spoke with say they support the move.
I think after school, before school, with your parents, that's awesome. You should be able to express yourself, your opinion. But I do agree, during school hours, it's school time.
The district isn't specifying what discipline there may be, but the Code of Conduct says it could range from a one-day in-school suspension to being suspended out of school for 5 days. Leaders in Osceola County are discussing a road that is intended to ease traffic headaches. Coming up, where it's planned and when the next public hearing is. Here is a live look for you from our Mount Dora camera. Looking really pretty on this Wednesday afternoon. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back. Untangling a traffic nightmare. In parts of Central Florida, people are moving in faster than roads can be built. Your Osceola County community correspondent Stephanie Rodriguez is in St. Cloud with the details on a planned extension to ease congestion.
As more and more people decide to call Osceola County home, some residents who live here already tell me they think it's a good idea to capitalize on that existing plan. So let me break it down for you. Once built, the Sunbridge Parkway will connect Erlo Bronson, which is US 192 in Osceola County, to State Road 528 in Orange County. Now that's already set to happen. The extension that we're talking about would take that road even farther into Osceola County, connecting US 192 to Nova Road. That extension would be a 4-lane divided highway made for drivers, pedestrians, and bicyclists. We met a couple that lives off Nova Road who feel the extension is necessary as traffic increases.
I think it needs to be done. Yes, traffic's just gotten too bad.
It should reroute the traffic a bit, yes. Our doctors are in a lot of them are in Kissimmee, and it makes it difficult. I actually cancel a lot of my appointments just because of that.
Osceola County did a study on the extension, and right now residents will be able to learn more about it as well as give their thoughts on the impact it will have on the area. The public hearing is set for 5:30 here at the St. Cloud Community Center. Doors will open at 5:30. I'm your Osceola County community correspondent, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Time now is 12:15. Let's take a peek outside. Looking so gorgeous there. This is our launch credit union camera out there at Port Canaveral. Whole lot of blue sky. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is back. Candace, it's a beautiful day, but you are tracking a front, and that means some changes.
Quick changes, right? So we're going back up into the 70s today. We're going to be barely getting out of the 50s tomorrow with added rain. We have a little bit of frost, and then finally we'll enjoy a nice stretch into the weekend. So let's kind of break it down here. These are the main weather headlines right now. We are tracking us getting close to those 70s. Our next front just to our north. It's going to come through late tonight, early Thursday morning, bringing in some rain. It will be a cooler day Thursday and Friday before we really start to ramp up those temperatures just in time for your weekend. Now, temperatures out the door right now. It's a really nice, comfortable start to our afternoon. We're in the upper 60s, low 70s. Running about 10 degrees above where we should be at this point. So certainly some good news there. Looking at the kind of the timeline. So right now the big story is this big ridge of high pressure, and it's going to continue to stream in our winds out of the south, pumping in that heat and humidity. But notice just what's to the north. This next front, though, will be moving in. This is the latest satellite and radar imagery. You can see there's plenty of moisture out there. Nothing strong or severe to be too concerned about. But we are going to be tapping into more of this moisture source, which is certainly good news as our drought conditions continue to worsen. The frost and the freeze lately has also kind of exacerbated conditions as well. So any rain that we can get, we'll welcome it. Even though it's not going to be a whole lot, we'll take whatever, right? As we look here at the forecast, so today is going to be a mild day. Then on Thursday and really into Friday, it's going to be chilly. So if your plants are still covered or they're still inside, you haven't had the opportunity to get them back outside, just do be aware that if everything is still covered up and protected, just keep it for another day because we will have that opportunity of nearing freezing once again Friday morning. I know, ups and downs. Now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today. All right, our temperatures for this afternoon are going to be back into those low 70s, mix of sun and clouds today. But notice the cloud cover and the rain will all start working its way back in. So you can see here clouds and rain futurecast showing the cloud cover starting to develop late tonight. We will see scattered showers right along the Marion County zones there through Flagler County. At this point, most of those pockets of some moderate to heavy rain will be still shifted up to the north, but there will be still the opportunities to have some of those heavier downpours, albeit a low-end chance of that heavy rain could still be embedded within it throughout the early morning commute. You can see by 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, there will be some green around. I don't think this is going to be a washout of a day, but certainly a gloomy, kind of soggy start, especially compared to what we have been dealing with. That front will continue to slide south, could have some residual moisture across our southern zones, though. So as we look at our forecast for tonight, we're only down to 50. Added cloud cover, more rain will be keeping temperatures well above where we started off this week, where we were in the mid-20s. The wind gusts behind this front, though, on Thursday will be pretty gusty as well, so not ideal for beach and boating activities both Thursday and Friday. But again, we are dealing with one more night where temperatures either will be at freezing or the wind chill values will be at freezing. Again, this is one more cold night, and then we'll be able to start trending back into the 70s for your weekend. Notice the wind chill values, though. This is Friday morning. We'll be into those 20s once again across northwest Florida. So don't put away the sweaters just yet, and make sure to find your umbrella or your raincoat. We haven't really needed it much for morning commutes so far the last couple of weeks. So that's something that we're going to be tracking, of course, throughout the morning commute tomorrow, and then back into the 70s by your weekend.
Candace, thank you. I'm running out of winter clothes. Okay, we want to see what you're seeing, so open your camera app, scan the QR code on your screen, and click that link so you can share your weather photos and videos and your pet photos. They could end up on TV. If you send me a pet photo, it will end up on TV. You can also go to clickorlando.com/pins and upload your pictures and videos that way. Cranking up the heat for the last several days likely means a higher electric bill. Coming up, how you can sign up for help. And coming up on News 6 tonight.
More fallout after a News 6 investigation. Last November and December, we told you about multiple people who lost tens of thousands of dollars after a roofing company cashed their insurance checks but never replaced their roof. Now another family has come forward with a problem with the same company. They say they got their roof, but afterwards got a $7,000 lien on their property for unpaid materials.
Coming up tonight on News 6.
Here is a live look for you over downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. Stay with us. We'll be right back. If you're worried about an extremely high energy bill after this week's cold, help is available. Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHEAP, is one of the resources that's out there. The federally funded program helps families with the costs associated with heating and cooling their homes. For seniors, there is the Elderly Home Assistance Program, or EHEAP, for people 60 years or older. Both programs do have strict eligibility requirements, and we've put all the information for you on our website, clickorlando.com. Here's a live look for you over Port Canaveral from our Launch Credit Union camera. Lots of sunshine out there. Some changes are on the way. News 6 at noon is back in 3 minutes. SeaWorld Orlando says its rescue team took 16 large, cold-stunned green sea turtles from Titusville. The park says the turtles showed visible signs of stress on their shells and on their skin. The team's goal is to rehabilitate the turtles so they can safely return to their natural habitat. Officials say when water temperatures drop, sea turtles can become hypothermic, requiring immediate medical attention. SeaWorld is working with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission to provide around-the-clock treatment for the sea turtles, and we're so lucky that we have such good care here. So they are in good hands.
Huge resources. I mean, SeaWorld, people just automatically think it's rides and stuff like that, but there's so much happening behind the scenes as well. Another chilly night, unfortunately, in the forecast. Friday morning, Thursday night into early Friday morning. Tomorrow will be a little different, a little warmer, a little wetter as you're heading out the door. But notice temperatures are going to struggle to hit that 60-degree mark. But then after we get through Friday, we're having a nice stretch back into the 70s.
Sounds good. Candace, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our next newscast is at 3. You can always check clickorlando.com for any updates. We hope you have a great day.